It's Jeff Mudflap the Gang. Good morning, Thursday, July 31st. Dang, man, we're tomorrow.
Wow.
I mean, stating the obvious. Wow, tomorrow's August. But no, that's, wow. Back to school's coming up. Summer's going by fast. But we've got a lot of hot weather ahead of us still, I'm sure. So there's that, you know. So how are you this morning, Colleen?
I'm doing pretty good, and you?
I am not too bad. I guess we're down one. Mudflap. Yeah, okay, let's just start right here. I know we've got the computer going here, and I see you have that thing up about Miranda Lambert. Have you seen that video of her? It's this week.
No.
We haven't really talked about this much, but she's wearing this short denim skirt. She's on stage and walking around, and her
hiney's
hanging right out of it. And people are like, oh, what? You know, people are commenting or things. So this video's been going everywhere. And, yeah, I've been, is this on Instagram, I think? I've been warning y'all about my backyard swagger since 2014. Yeah, Little Red Wagon. Okay, that's funny. but yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Red-blooded male here. I mean, but I don't know. I didn't think it was it's not a great look for us.
So if it were Megan Maroney, would it be okay? Would you have been a little bit more about it?
If I could be completely honest here, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit cooler with it, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Just being honest. I mean, you ask me a question, sure. But no, it's just I don't know if she did it on purpose. She had to have known.
Somebody had to have told her or known.
Because she knows she's going to be up on the stage and people are down below the stage. And it just, I don't know. I was surprised. Maybe she's just trying to get attention and,
I would think so because she really doesn't perform as much lately. And, and there's all these young girls coming in. You got the Megan Maroney, you got the Ella Langley, you got Ashley Cook. I mean, so people are stepping up and women are coming back into country music and they're being liked. So I think she's trying to stay relevant.
Well, and that happens, through the years. You always have the different eras. It's like when Shania Twain came along and shook things up and it made like Reba have to, try to up her game to keep up with all that. And then, but you had Faith Hill and Martina McBride and who else from that era? Leanne Womack, and so now you see the like Miranda and Carrie Underwood and that class of they're having to try harder to kind of keep up with things. Yeah,
aging out a little bit, and so they
Here's what's not fair though, and I know you totally agree with me on this too, but it really isn't fair that. It's like even Hollywood and stuff. Women have to do more to try to keep young.
Yes.
And guys, it's like George Strait. He's not doing anything crazy. He's just aging.
Yep.
And everybody seems to be cool with it. And most stars are that way. Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw actually. I mean, if there's anybody that has like him and Kenny Chesney kind of that would be the closest thing to an equivalent of what we're talking about here. They're still successful and everything.
Releasing music,
but they're not having. They're not doing a lot of crazy Botox and things to try to look young or anything. They're just aging.
No, women are definitely kicked to the curb a lot sooner than what guys are in Hollywood. Guys can turn gray and it's distinguished. Women can't turn gray and still, get the roles that they would like to get.
Unless you're Helen Mirren, she's like one of the few that has just been able to. Again, just age, So
well, she also has the awesome accent too.
Yeah, that helps,
and then
right?
She's got the attitude, so she could pull. Yeah, she's a very good actress. I do agree with you.
All right. Well, anyway, that Miranda thing you just had that pulled up there. I was like, oh, that's funny. We need to talk about that. Let's see what else we got today. It is National Avocado Day today.
Ooh, I like avocados.
Kathy's trying to grow an avocado tree. This is interesting. And we learned a little bit about this. It takes like 5 years to even get an avocado plant to the point where where it would actually bear like you started off just the seed and put it in water or something, let it sprout a little bit, and then she has it in a flower pot and put like a plastic bag over it so it retains all that moisture and everything, kind of tropical feel, I guess. And it's just been sitting out on the back patio on a table, and it started sprouting a bunch, and now it's really starting to. I mean, you could tell it's growing, but we found out it takes like 5 years or something before it can even get to a point where you could maybe plant it as a tree or something, and before it would even start bearing avocados.
That is funny.
So it's a process.
I know my mother and I, growing up, we would do that. My mother loved avocados, and she would put the toothpicks in the sides of them and put them in water, and a cup of water. But we never, I don't know, we never had the patience to see it through.
Right. And I don't know if, I mean, 5 years is a long time to wait for something to get to a point where you can start. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted, but Avocado Day reminded me of that. All right, we got some good vibe stories coming up here in just a moment. What else we got here? I know, I was just trying to get awake here. I know I'm struggling with my words. We're going to be at Taco Villa today.
Yes, we are.
3 to 5. The new one, 35th and Milwaukee. Come out. They've got milkshakes at this location. It's the first Taco Villa to do it. So you can come out and sample the milkshakes, and there's a limited time menu item as well. It was like
barbecue nachos. I love nachos. I love them.
Barbecue chicken nachos. Yeah, so you'll be able to come out and sample that, but also free samples of the new Taco Villa milkshakes. So there you go. So we'll be out there from 3 to 5. So you can make plans to swing by there this afternoon, say hello, and try those items, and check out the brand new Taco Villa location. First location, the first new one, I think, since 2018. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's been 7 years.
God,
it seems like a couple of years when I hear that, right?
Oh.
So there you go. All right. Something else too. I saw this story. We'll get to this coming up here, but I guess you got to be careful when you buy your energy drinks. You never know what could be in there. So we got that coming up. And then forgotten websites. I saw this last night. It just kind of, I was like, God, that's crazy. I'd forgotten about that one. There's a bunch of forgotten websites. Things used to be very important to people, and they've just they just got passed up, and they nobody even remembers them hardly anymore. So I've got a list of those.
Okay.
We'll get to that too. That'll be kind of interesting, and it might spur some thoughts of some other ones that you used to use or something that just kind of time went by and you found different ways to do things. So it's kind of interesting. All right, that's coming up this morning on KLLL.
Mudflap the Gang Morning Show.
So good. On KLLL.
Falls right into the river. He's thinking it's gone forever. But when he really realized the ring was missing, he grabbed some goggles, dove to the bottom of the river to search, but couldn't find anything. The visibility was poor. He didn't have enough oxygen in his lungs to really do a proper search. He had to keep coming back up to the surface, and so just couldn't get a consistent search. So he decided to call in professionals at that point, so he contacted a local scuba club. And 3 members of the scuba club showed up, got into the river, found the ring for him in just 10 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that crazy? So he said he was thrilled. He said, I didn't think they'd find it, so when they did, I gave them all a hug, even though they were soaking wet. And I'm sure they appreciated that.
Aww.
But to celebrate the successful mission, this guy and his family took the 3 divers for a well-deserved pint of beer and gave the scuba club a donation as a way of saying thanks. So,
well, how sweet.
It's always fun when you hear those stories about wedding rings that fall, or engagement rings, you'll fall into the ocean or the river or something.
I think so.
Fun.
I think so. I mean, it's like, I don't know. No, did you hear about that airplane that took off from Salt Lake City yesterday and had to land in Minnesota, I believe? It was Minneapolis. There was, they hit turbulence. Okay. I mean, it was just random turbulence in the air, and like 25 people had to go to the hospital.
Really?
They said, yeah, it was very unexpected. And like the flight attendants, the witnesses are saying flight attendants, hit the roof of the airplane, the ceiling of the airplane. Yeah. Anything that was on the beverage cart went flying.
Oh my gosh.
Anything that was not, underneath your chair or in the bin was flying, and there was debris hitting people. It was crazy.
Golly.
They were on their way to Amsterdam, and they had to make an emergency landing.
It just seems like you hear about that kind of stuff so much more than you used to. And it really makes you wonder if are things really? I mean, like all these planes, are they getting old? Is there something going on there? Because used to, I mean, not that turbulence doesn't happen, but it just seems like there's the regularity of these types of things happening is so much more than it used to be.
Yeah.
At least it feels that way. I don't know if that's right. I haven't seen the stats or anything, but But yeah, that's
actually
that's pretty crazy.
Knew someone several years ago who was on an airplane, and that happened. She was a flight attendant, and she fractured her, her hips, her pelvic, and her lower spine. I mean, it was bad.
Now, I'm not trying to one-up you with my story or anything.
That's okay. Go ahead.
This is what happens when people start telling stories. Well, listen to this. Get a load of this.
Okay.
I know a guy. But no, this was years ago. There was a guy he worked for one of the record companies, and in radio you deal with the record company people and everything. And this guy, he was on a flight, and he had a briefcase up in the upper storage thing. He put his briefcase up there. At some point during the flight, everything, they hit that turbulence and everything. The doors sprang open. Ooh. The briefcase fell perfectly angled and hit him in the head, the corner of the briefcase, and he died. I mean, it hit him right top of the head. Boom! And lights out, man. It was over.
Okay, you win.
So I'm not trying to win. It's not a competition, but I hate doing that. But you just reminded me of that story. So I swear, since that day, anytime I've flown, I always look and see what's up above me that people are putting in there. Yeah. And I'm always like, okay, let's see. Is there a briefcase up there? And more often than not these days, it's a backpack or it's a soft, a carry-on, like a duffel of some sort, something like that. And I'm always like, okay, if that happened, I think I can survive that. But a hard shell briefcase in the corner of that thing hitting you, man, it was crazy. So, but I'll never forget that.
Well, boy, if that doesn't make you want to sit on the window seat or the middle seat, nothing will.
Right. Yeah, I always sit the window seat, man, because then your protective stuff falls out. You're not right in the line of fire. So, I mean, unless my family. I mean, I'll set the dangerous place, I guess. But if it's just me flying somewhere, I'm trying to get that window seat, like on Southwest.
Yeah, I'm usually the aisle seat because I want to be able to get out easier.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the other thing. So you have to decide, do you want to get hit in the head with the briefcase?
But now, I know. Now you're going to make me think about that.
And one of the airlines, I know we're getting some other some people here. We'll get to these texts here in just a minute. But it's JetBlue or Spirit? I don't want to disparage both airlines here, but one of them I saw yesterday is laying off like 200 pilots or something.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, that's significant. That's a lot of people.
I mean, neither one of the, I don't know.
And
how
neither
many,
one of those airlines are known for
large.
being awesome, really,
No.
right? So
No.
I don't think there's any airline now that, even for years I flew Southwest only because they were always on time. They were always friendly, always a great experience.
Always on time.
To me, they've kind of entered the realm of every other mediocre airline.
Yeah,
it's just everybody's just kind of been dumbed down into this. They all suck.
So what do you think about them going to assigned seating? I don't think it goes into effect until next year, but what are your thoughts on it?
If you buy your tickets and you know where you're going to be and you buy them early enough and you can get the seat you want, I mean, I'm fine with that. Because the cattle call Southwest Airlines thing, lived with it for so long, it's like, I'm cool with that. But yeah, if you get C, that's C for center.
Yeah.
You're getting a center seat. But all right, yeah. So what do we got here? Who just told me to wear a bicycle helmet?
My brother.
Okay,
he said, just wear a bicycle helmet. It won't look odd.
Right? Yeah, no kidding. Listen, after that guy got hit in the head with a briefcase, that's one of those. Do you ever hear things that things you don't worry about in your life, and then you hear about something like that, and you go, oh, wow, new fear unlocked.
Right.
I never thought about that being a possibility, but I swear, ever since then I fly, I always think about that. So,
Well, and Justin says, sadly, it definitely is increasing as far as, incidences with airplanes, but it's also, we're being made more aware of it because of, social media and the news. So we're now learning about all these incidences.
And I agree. I agree with that on a large scale, because I think that's also why it feels like there's so much bad news all the time, because we do hear about it 24/7 all the time, whether it's TV or social media. But we've had 24/7 news and social media for quite a while now. And I still feel like we've heard more of these stories recently in the last year or two than we've ever heard. And we have had 24/7 social media, news, everything. So I don't know, but I think overall I agree that is why now we always think, gosh, the good old days, kids could go outside and play, that kind of stuff. I think kids can still go outside and play. It's just you hear about every single bad things that happens across the country, and it gives you this feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't want my kids to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know that things are really that different. It's just we just hear about it, and as a parent, it's hard to let your kids just, hey, all right, we'll see you when the streetlights come on.
Right,
you know?
yeah, that's
Like
how we
grew
were.
up. Yeah.
Riding our bikes.
Yeah.
You know, I would be interested to know if there's even children bike sales, what, you know, the percentage of bicycles that children are riding, because I don't see kids out riding bikes.
Right. Yeah, you know, my neighborhood, it's funny, there's a lady that lives across the street from me, and she's a grandmother, and she's got, I don't know, there's at least 5 little kids that'll be around there, and then my next door neighbors on one side have a daughter that's probably about 5 or something like that, and all those little kids in the last couple of years, you know, they're all old enough now, they're all getting outside and playing and riding their little bikes, and you know, they've got those little the electric little vehicles, you know, little Jeeps and stuff.
Yeah,
and
toddlers, right, yeah.
And it always does my heart good because I'm like, wow, look at that. That's kids outside playing. Wow, what a concept. But other than that, the whole time I've lived in my house, you know, there just wasn't a lot of kids out in the neighborhood. When I lived in Oklahoma, though, our neighborhood there, man, it was like our house was the epicenter of all the activity and all the kids in the neighborhood. We had a ton of kids in the neighborhood, and they would all be down at our house all the time. It was baseball games going on, football going on, basketball, tag. I mean, you name it. It was always kids outside playing, you know, and it was so great. So it's interesting. It does feel like it has changed, though.
Big Dave says that his son rides his bike all the time, but they live in the country. Ruben says him and his 3 friends used to ride their bikes from the east side of Lubbock to the mall.
Golly,
and,
wow.
you know, you just don't think about that. You don't.
Yeah.
Kids don't do that nowadays.
Yeah. No, we used to. I mean, you know, growing up in Lovington, small town, you know, I would get on my bike and ride to my grandparents' house, and you know, and back then, I mean, sitting there thinking about that now, it was probably like, you know, man, that was like 10 blocks away.
Yeah.
You know, and it really, I mean, I could, in my mind, I can just think, yeah, I get on my bike ride to my grandma and granddad's. That was right there. I mean, you know, it wasn't a big deal, but yeah, you just, it's hard to let your kids do that now. You want to ride 10 blocks and do what?
Yeah. Okay, you can do that, but I'm going to be in my car behind you, following you to make sure you make it there safely.
Right. Make sure you have your cell phone on. I've got Life 360 so I can track you the whole way, and hopefully you're okay. It's just so funny. It was so bad that I remember when I was a kid, the freedom I had of doing things. One of the dumbest things I ever did, and I was I was probably like in 3rd grade or something like that. And there was this kid that down the street from me that was a little bit older, but not way old. He might have been in 6th grade when I was in 3rd grade. But in those years, he's way older.
Yes,
he was in 6th grade. And he came down, he got me and my other friend lived across the street. He was the same age as me. He said, "Hey man, y'all want to go collect some money and we'll go down to the store and buy candy." Yeah, cool, man. I mean, you know, 3rd grade, yeah. Collect money and buy candy? Absolutely. So we go with this kid and we go door to door. We leave our neighborhood. We're on the next 2 blocks over, and he's knocking on people's door. "Oh yeah, would you like to donate to the hospital?"
No.
And I remember at the time I was like, what are we going to do with that money? I mean, I was only 3rd grade, and I didn't really know. I was like, well, I guess. He had a coffee can, and he said, yeah, do you want to donate to the hospital? And some people would actually throw in a dime or a quarter or something, you know. And so he's like, all right, man, let's go to the store. And I remember, so we walked to the store, and I didn't feel right about it, even in 3rd grade. I knew something was wrong. Well, then my parents found out that I had walked that far, and we had done that. And that I think I got in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
So don't go to door to door collecting for
nefarious
things.
Fine. Well, your mother raised you right. The fact that you didn't feel that was good, so you had a conscience at one point in time in your life.
Okay.
This is KLLL, Jeff Mudflap and the Gang.
96.3 KLLL.
Neither by Brad Paisley. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll find that. Let me find that. I have not heard that song in years. I forgot about that song.
Really?
And it's actually, do you know it?
I've heard it. It's been a long time.
It's really a fun song, and but it's one of those songs that just kind of went away. I don't know. That's crazy. I've not even thought about that. All right. Well, I'll search for it here, and we'll get that on there. Patrick, it's your long-distance dedication. All right,
and it really is long distance. He's vacationing in Missouri right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's listening on the Sonic KLLL mobile app, right?
Yes, he is.
All right, very good. Okay. Well, before we get to that, and I've got it searching here. I'll find it. This was crazy. If you like Celsius energy drinks, a lot of people drink these energy drinks. This is one of those things I never stopped to think about was possible, but there's a recall and a safety warning. A couple of lots of High Noon Beach variety packs were found to contain mislabeled cans. Some were filled with vodka seltzer instead of the intended Celsius Astro Vibe energy drink.
Oh no!
So they got them confused, and they put the High Noon in the Celsius. It sounds like Reese's peanut butter cups. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. No, you got chocolate in my peanut butter. Yeah, you got High Noon in my Celsius. Well, you got Celsius in my High Noon. So yeah, they got it confused. So the Celsius energy drinks, a lot of these, like I don't mean like a bunch of them, a lot, but I mean a lot.
However many is in a lot,
you know what I'm
right?
saying?
Correct.
So the Celsius energy drink cans were filled with the vodka beverage instead. You know, that would be quite a shocker if you were somebody who, let's say you don't ever drink or anything, but you like energy drinks.
Jeez.
You pour down a couple of the Celsius, and all of a sudden you're like, boy, these are kicking in a little differently than they normally do. Yeah. Gosh, I just never thought about that happening.
Especially to think that it could be sold to minors.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So the mislabeled cans bear the sparkling blue Raz label, but contain alcohol, leading to unintentional alcohol ingestions. The products, we're lucky. I don't think they were here in Texas, but they were distributed in Florida, New York, Ohio, South Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin. And they say there's no illnesses have been reported, but apparently customers are very in great spirits, apparently. But consumers are urged to check FDA-issued lot codes and dispose of affected cans. So I don't know. So the chances around here probably, I doubt seriously if anybody has any of these, since it looks like with those other states. But the big picture of it does make you go, wow, that's crazy. I never thought about that happening before.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Justin Bieber. Yeah, well, I guess I'm taking those back to the store. So.
Are you really?
I think you better drink all of it. About that. That's actually that's a really good song. So thank you to Patrick, your brother, for requesting that. All right. That was a good one. All right, let's
Holly
see.
liked it too. So I haven't heard that in forever. So that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's always fun to hear a song you haven't heard in a long time. Those oh wow moments where you're like, wow, I hadn't heard that. Yeah, that's a great feeling.
My brother says thank you, Jeff.
You're very welcome, Pat. You're very welcome. All right. So he's still on vacation, right?
He is.
Man, you said
it's
like a
2-week vacation.
Yeah.
I know.
Man, it's like
one of these days. Who knows?
Like Mudflap. Wow.
Man,
living the life right there. All right, coming up here just a little bit, we've got, we have the Pledge of Allegiance, Star Spangled Banner this morning. We'll check some dirty laundry. We've got a dad joke, and we've got some forgotten websites. We'll go over a list and see if you remember any of these. And it's just funny. There's so much online, and especially like social media. You spend so much time doing that kind of stuff that some of these early websites that you used to go to all the time for different things, they just kind of went away, and nobody really thought twice about it. But you hear the names, and you'll go, oh my gosh, I remember that. And you might even have some other ones you can think of that have disappeared that nobody really uses anymore. So we got that coming up this morning on KLLL. The Clear the Warehouse blowout sale is still happening today at Raider Flooring. Now this could be ending today. It's the last day of the month, and I know it was all month in July. I don't know if it's going to get extended or not. Talked to Mike yesterday at Raider Flooring. He's got some other things planned coming up in August, so be listening for that. But the Clear the Warehouse blowout sale still going on today for sure. Tile as low as $1 a square foot. He's still got a bunch of tile in stock and some different colors and things. So get by Raider Flooring today. If you've been thinking about making a change in your home, you can save some money and get some great looking tile as well, as low as $1 a square foot. Plus carpet and luxury vinyl up to 60% off. So I told you it was a good time to do it. So don't let July pass without checking the Clear the Warehouse blowout sale happening at Raider Flooring. You can find their showroom on 50th Street. It's near Utica or online at RaiderFlooring.com.
From the Dollar Western Wear Studio, this is Lubbock's country leader and home of Jeff, Mudflap, and the gang.
KLLL.com. From Kids Dentistry and KLLL, you can go. You get, if you win, you get $1,000 for yourself, and then $1,000 for your school as well. Maybe they could use that to buy some school supplies, and you wouldn't have to buy so many school supplies for everybody else.
Kidding.
So that's kind of cool. So we do have that going on right now at KLLL.com. I want to say thank you to our friend and gang member Jesse dropping by this morning with breakfast. That's always
he's
nice.
So
He really is. He's so nice, and so we're enjoying that. Mudflap is on vacation, so it's always a little more quiet when Mudflap's not here.
A little more quiet and low-key.
Right,
yeah.
a little more low-key, but it's all good. So, Colleen, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. And you?
I am magnificent.
Well,
Thank
good.
you, yeah. Let's see here. Dad joke coming up. We'll have dirty laundry coming up. The birthday list as well at around 7:30. If you'd like to pass along a birthday to us, we'll add it to the list on the Sonic text line, 806-900-9630. Yeah, Justin Bieber. I thought it seemed quiet. Yeah. So
We're a little chilled this morning because there's no Mudflap.
Right. But that's okay. He probably needs a break from us, too.
What?
You think?
I don't.
From
He may
me.
need a break from you.
Me.
I
Okay,
think.
all right. Let's be fair. You're right. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
Yes,
okay,
it is.
Great. Do we have our? You want to get a list? Who's all here in our gang this morning?
do.
Gang check in from the Sonic text line. Who we got so far?
We've got Troy the Painter, David Butch, Ricky, Tammy, Groot, Mike H, Kimberly, Jonathan, Summer, James, Gary, Big Dave, Jesse, Ruben, Garrett, Jose the Trucker, Milkman, Patrick, my brother, Holly, Jamie, Brenda, Bob, Patrick, not my brother, Carl, Elaine, and Justin Beaver.
The way you said Holly, it reminded me that remember that skit on Saturday Night Live when it had the sisters? I'm Holly, and and they go on, and then it would be Kristen Wiig at the end with the little hands and the giant forehead, and I'm Bernice. You remember that one?
Kind of, not really, but kind of. I'm going to say yes. Oh, that was so funny.
Well,
I do remember it.
It's funny. Look it up on YouTube. It's funny. When you see it, you'll go, "Oh, that. Yes, okay."
Maybe the Holly part kind of sounds familiar.
I'm Holly.
They sing who they are. Yeah.
And I'm Bernice. Yeah. All right. That's enough of that. Look it up on YouTube for the full glorious version of that. All right, so this is interesting. I saw this list last night, and it really got me thinking here. Forgotten websites. And it's so crazy, everything moves so fast these days. And like technology even, if you think through history and the kind of things that would be invented and then last for years and years and years. Just thinking about music, just as a place to start. So you think about music, how like you bought records or something, and think how many years did you buy records? Records were decades. Then along came, probably like, I guess like, I don't know, I can't remember what came first. It would have been cassettes or 8-tracks, but they lasted several years. They had a long shelf life, cassettes. It's just for probably 20 years. Then along came CDs, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, compact disc, this is the future of music. It'll be forever. CDs maybe lasted for like 15 years maybe. I mean, as far as being the thing and the popular thing. I mean, you could still get CDs after that. But the next thing that came along when you're getting music on your your phone or a hard drive or whatever, and it just seems like things are just happen so quickly now, and the shelf life of any technology or anything, it just moves at such a rapid speed. I hope I'm making sense, but
by the time they release the new technology, they're almost finished with the next best thing.
Yeah, it's like this other thing's already obsolete, So you're always behind the new technology. It seems
like buying a TV. Wait, next year, then there all of a sudden is new technology. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, but TVs are a great example too, because they just they get the screens get flatter and flatter, and the picture gets brighter and more just perfect. So here you go. Forgotten websites. When you're talking about things that just time passed them by, do you remember a website called Ask Jeeves?
I do not.
It was probably one of the first Google type things. Now people, Google has become just such a term. So hey, Google it.
Yeah.
back in the day, Ask Jeeves was one of those things where you would type it. You go to AskJeeves.com and you would type in something, and it would pull up a website or something